There was once an obtuse single named Brody Beta. He lived on the right side of Transversal Drive, where he had a beautiful view of a lake with some mountains in the distance. He had a good job where he was surrounded by many of his angle friends. But despite his amazing view and vast network of friends, Brody was lonely. He had no one to share his life with, and he just felt incomplete. One day, Brody woke up and decided that enough was enough. This was the day he would begin his search for love. It wasn't long before he noticed a pretty angle named Gracie Gamma. Gracie was also an obtuse angle, and she lived just a few blocks down, on the other side of Transversal Drive. Brody and Gracie hit it off right away and discovered that they had a lot in common. But after a few months, it became clear to Brody that maybe they had a little too much in common. The fact that they were alternate interior angles meant that they were congruent, and Brody and Gracie found that everything about them was the same. While they never fought because they always agreed on everything, they both realized that something was missing from this relationship, so they went their separate ways. A few days after his breakup, Brody gazed off into the mountains in the distance, feeling lonelier than ever. Just as he was turning away from the mountains, his gaze landed on the cutest angle he had ever seen. She was entering her house, which just so happened to be right across the street, on the other side of Transversal Drive. Brody had a feeling about this one, so he went over to introduce himself. He discovered that the cute angle was named Abby Alpha, and though she was an acute angle and much smaller than him, they made the perfect pair. Brody wondered why he hadn't ever noticed Abby before. She had always been there, right next to him, with nothing but the transversal separating them. Brody and Abby decided to stay together forever, and their wedding was a perfect celebration, representing their perfect love for each other and their perfect summation to 180 degrees. This linear pair lived happily ever after.